board has been in a work session since 5:30 this evening, and we have reconvened back into regular session. And the first item on the agenda tonight here will be the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would all rise and say the pledge with me. Thank you. The next item on our agenda tonight will be the approval of the minutes from the October 25th meeting. We also, Sean, are these approvals of the 9th and 23rd of August as well? And September 13th and 27th. So several meetings there. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or comments? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
Mrs. Youngling?
Yes.
Mrs. Apache?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Warren?
Thank you. The next item on tonight's agenda will be the superintendent's presentations. And Jonathan, I'll hand that over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we have started to build a rhythm into our public board meetings that we have a section called wayfinding. And this wayfinding is a part of our Journey to 2030 work. So thank you all for being here tonight. You'll get a chance to see our wayfinding video, and it gets released tonight. And Tracy Carson and our public information officer team has been putting this together, and then we'll get on to some celebrations. So I'll turn it over to Tracy.
Yes, this is a beautiful example of how our rocks can really come together. It's a celebration of a teacher's idea who wrote a grant to the Mason Schools Foundation to really celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month as a whole school community with an extra dose of inclusion. And you'll see how this idea of giving students the opportunity to take snacks and learn culture that way was really helped by the students in Kim Rolfe's class who have some significant disabilities. And so a beautiful example of how our rocks can come together.
It's kind of cool that the whole school, like our whole community, is going to be tasting the same things today. Some of you guys may have this. I actually did this with my classes last year, just like one-on-one, just my class. It was kind of cool because some people were like, oh, I've had these before, this is the best one, and other people have never seen them before, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you come up in a minute and get some of the candies. So we have 3 different things. Tastes are such a big part of culture. And last year, when we were doing AAPI month, from just my class, my homeroom, I went and I got us a bunch of snacks. And it was so neat to see the kids, you know, on both sides, tasting things that they had never tasted before, but also the kids who would come in and go, oh, this one, you need to taste this one. So they could kind of see some of their own culture coming into the classroom. But also on top of that, you know, our crew is supposed to be about, you know, making connections with each other. And how do we always do that? It's, you know, through food. A lot of times we'll sit down and eat, you know, big celebrations. It's about eating together and breaking bread together. And so, you know, the idea was too that by giving them this opportunity to taste something new, have a new experience together, that maybe the crews will also get closer together. All this candy got here, and it was like, how are we going to get this distributed? And Kim Rolfe's kids were amazing in helping us to get everything together. They did it all in like a day and a half. Could not have done it without them, and it also gave them, you know, a new experience and a very authentic experience of work to do.
We have to put it in the baggies.
And we have to sort them in bins. Like we took the yellows and put them in one bin, the circled into the other bin, and then the whites, and then the white candies, the hard candies into the other bin.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, clean the key, or is to give people some nice
hard together. They worked good teamwork, and they had
Teamwork.
and they did have the discipline of not eating it while they were doing that, and they got it knocked out in one day.
Wow.
Every student in the school.
It's like a boxing dog.
So they did a good job. They worked hard and working together. They had teams of two, so they did really well.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so I give the flavor a 2. It needs to have like more flavor in it, and then I give like the other thing 2. 2 out of 10.
How many people, this was your favorite? Esta es tu favorita. Anya, Max. ¿De quién es el favorito? Okay.
Would you compare them to anything in your culture that you've had before, or were they different?
Like a lot different.
A lot different from what you've had in the past?
Yeah.
So that was a cool cultural experience.
Yeah, it was different.
I really like tasting the candies because you get to experience another culture which you might not be able to experience otherwise. And you get to taste like what went into that, what people in that culture like taste, what they like to eat. And it's really fun.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Tracy, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing another wayfinding moments. As we continue on our journey to 2030, we will continue to highlight wayfinding moments that highlight our story here at Mason City Schools. Please, as you leave tonight, that will be out on our YouTube and I'm sure on other social media platforms. Please feel free to share it with your family, whether they're locally or globally connected to you, because we would love to share our story beyond the borders of Mason. So please share that out with people so they can hear our story and attract other wonderful families like yourself to come and join us here at Mason as a part of our story. The next part of our presentation tonight is we have such a gift tonight, and that is a chance to honor our students who qualified at one of our levels of the National Merit Honor Scholarship Award recipients. We have 81 students that we invited here this evening. 81 students. Let's give them a hand. I'm not sure if there are any places across the country that can say they invited 81 students to be recognized for this honor tonight. So we are just so grateful. We are humbled by that, and we do not take that for granted. We also want to, before we get started, recognize that this honor does not just go to our students themselves, but it is really honoring our families in the dedication and the commitment you have to education and to our community. So families and parents, we want to take a second to thank you as well. Thank you. All right, at this time, we're going to have a few sections of this, and we'll get organized. So at this time, what I would like us to do is we would like to recognize our National Merit semifinalists. There are 39 students among this group. If you are one of our National Merit semifinalists, if you would please make your way over to where our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Amy Brennan, is heading over here. And then we would like to ask you to go ahead and line up in alphabetical order by your last name. I think since you're on this list, we're sure that you can probably pull that off. So if you would go ahead and head that direction now.
Look in the corner of your placards. There are some numbers there that can also help clue you in. So just go right over here and sort of use those as your guide.
There you go. Use those as your guide. Make your way over. As they're making their way over, I do want to point out to those that are watching this online, because we probably have families watching online, welcome. And those families that are here, just a reminder that the students that are coming up now are among the top 1% of the 1.5 million students that were participated in this assessment, this test. And so the top 1% are right here, and we have 39. This matches our very top number of National Merit semifinalists we've ever had here at Mason City Schools in 1 year. So we have 39 students. As they're getting their way organized, we're going to ask these students, because one of the things we do recognize here is it's not just about the numbers. It's not just about academic achievement. even though that's amazing, and these students deserve that celebration, there's so much more, and there's such a story behind them. And so we're going to ask them to come across the stage. And students, as you come across the stage, if you would step up, square up to the microphone up here, and we would ask that you would say your name and then tell us a Mason moment that you have had. Now, some of you asked, do I need to put the Mason moment that I submitted on here? I thought of a better one. That's fine. If you thought of a better one that's more relevant to you, as long as it's appropriate, go ahead and you can share that with us tonight. So I'm going to ask our first student to lead the way, step up, and let's give them a hand as they're starting.
Hello, I'm Ryan Abbott, and my favorite Mason moment was competing at HOSA Internationals with my friends.
And we're going to ask you to come right down over here, and then we'll get a picture at the end. So we'll have you come straight across the stage. Just like in graduation. This is practice for graduation we have coming up soon.
My name's Amir Akbar, and my favorite Mason moment is going to MIT with my Science Olympiad team back when I was a freshman.
Hi, my name is Risha Chada, and my favorite Mason moment is probably, well, since I'm on the school newspaper, seeing that paper distributed every month and watching students read it.
Hi, I'm Tiasha Chakraborty, and one of my favorite Mason moments is just visiting the teachers in the building that have impacted my high school experience greatly.
Hi, I'm Michelle Chen, and my Mason moment is sitting with the Sycamore kids during the homecoming football game.
Sam, it's not here. That's me. With 2 years of being in fifth bell physics, we've had a lot of extra time after tests, so I have a lot of fun playing cards with all my classmates, and that's been a very fun experience to like relax.
Hello, my name is Matthew Heinen, and my favorite #Mason moment is being able to play my favorite game, Dungeons & Dragons, with a bunch of freshmen during Connect Time.
I don't know what's going on. I guess I don't need any introduction. Well, my name is Urv Hingraje, and my favorite Mason moment was this senior's homecoming because everyone had a lot of energy and really went all out there.
Hi, I'm Richard Ja, and one of my favorite Mason moments was probably making a 35-volt battery out of lemons, and it became my sophomore year.
I'm Gretchen Knut, and my favorite Mason moment is probably performing in all the different school plays over the years.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Lee, and my favorite Mason moment was running a music community service club with my friend Richa.
Hi, my name is Sanjana Nair, and my favorite Mason moment has been getting to compete in Science Olympiad over the years with some of my closest friends.
Hi, I'm Keith Newberger, and the Mason moment that I chose was being able to be a part of the state championship winning team with cross country last fall.
Hi, I'm Alina Parek, and my Mason moment is competing at HOSA Internationals.
Hi, I'm Matthew Q, and my Mason moment was getting to be a part of the pep rally as a senior.
Hi, I'm Tanay Sasrabade, and my Mason moment was doing boats in physics as a good way to apply physics and get some practice swimming.
Hi, I'm Sarah Schwarzkopf, and my favorite Mason moment is being a flute soloist and making Grand National Finals with the marching band last year.
My name is Cynthia Shao, and my favorite Mason moment was going to MIT for Science Olympiad.
Hi, I'm Davin Siebertson. My favorite Mason moment is riding the carousel after states with academic team.
You can continue to go. I think we're losing some kind of.
I'm Hannah Stevens, and my favorite Mason moment was bonding with my classmates over difficult homework problems.
Hi, my name is Surya Suresh, and my favorite Mason moment was when the chess team won the GMC title for the second year in a row.
Hi everyone, my name is Amir Talley, and my favorite Mason moment was helping Mason win the Harold C. Shaw Award from the Ohio Academy of Science.
Hi, I'm Laurel Wong, and my favorite Mason moment was getting the tobacco-free campus signs actually put up around the doors and entrances of this campus.
Let's give them all a hand one more time before we get them up for a picture, please. Tracy, do you want them to hang out for a minute? Okay. Okay, if they would just pause right there for a second, we're going to invite our next group up. Our next group is our National Merit Commended students. We have 35 students that are being recognized. These are students in the top 3 to 4% of the 1.5 million students that participated in the assessment. We would like you to please come up to where Tanya McCall is right over here. Line up, and if for some reason your picture does not come up because it looks like we might be maxing out our power for just a second, just go ahead and tell us your Mason moment. Speak right into the microphone so that folks at home can hear that as well. So if you would come up right now. As you come up, if you would get into alphabetical order by your last name, that would be helpful for us. And as we're organizing, we'll go ahead and, if you are also being recognized for, we have 9 students that are being recognized for African American and Hispanic heritage. So if you would please make your way up as well, we'll go ahead and put you into this mix as well. Thank you very much. Let's give them a hand.
Hi, my name is Cindy Odusamili, and my Mason moment was qualifying for the state competition with my mock trial team.
My name's Carissa Allen, and my Mason moment was going on a field trip to Columbus to the book loft with my bestsellers class.
My name is Nikki Doss, and my Mason moment is playing in the All-Star Hockey game. My name is Matthew Goldfarb, and my Mason moment is attending the football games on Fridays.
My name is Pratik Eingar, and my favorite Mason moment was going through all the highs and lows of physics with my 5th belt classmates.
Yeah.
My name is Manasi Khanna, and my favorite Mason moment was probably making edible slime with my classmates at Connect.
Hi, my name is Monish Karthikeyan, and my Mason moment is building catapults in my AP Physics Mechanics class.
My name's Christopher Cray, and my favorite Mason moment is completing my college applications this summer.
Hi, my name is Rithvik Marin, and my favorite Mason moment is going out with my honor symphony class to Pine Hill and having fun after our final concert.
My name's Aiden Markich, and my favorite Mason moment is winning the 4x1 at the pep rally.
Hi, my name is Nikhil Prabhakar, and my favorite Mason moment was probably going to University of Michigan with our model event club and just having a fun time competing and hanging out with my friends.
Hi, my name is Cole Scheidler, and my favorite Mason moment was when I dressed up as the middle school for Halloween my 8th grade year.
Hi, my name is Adira Shankar, and my favorite Mason moment is winning nationals with the Science Olympiad team and also every Science Olympiad competition.
Hi, my name is Vedant Sharma, and my Mason moment would probably be 2022 sophomore year, where I got to go to Lucas Oil Stadium with the rest of the marching band.
Hi, my name is Geetha Kavalaga, and my favorite Mason moment is being able to go down to the middle school and work with younger kids with their service projects and volunteer organizations.
Hi, my name is Cole Verden, and my favorite moment was going 1 through 4 at a cross-country meet with my teammates.
Hi, I'm George Shao, and I think my Mason moment would be being able to move here and meet more people.
Hi, my name is Yohan Tanisi, and my favorite Mason moment is playing music in the symphony orchestra.
Hi, my name is Brianna Archiga, and my favorite Mason moment is in my ethnic studies class, where I was able to truly make my voice heard by engaging in topics relating to diversity and inclusivity.
Hi, my name is Fabiola Gadenzi, and my favorite Mason moment has to be dancing the night away in my junior year prom. It was actually the first time I learned that I don't have 2 left feet.
Hi, my name is Kobana Kese. My favorite hashtag Mason moment was probably last Friday after the Mason football win and we secured 2nd place. Just the vibes in the locker room.
Hello, my name is Joshua Saban, and my favorite Mason moment is the relay race at the pep rally.
Let's give them all a hand once again. And students, if you would come up, do you want them on the stage here? Let's have them go on the stage for a picture. Let's give them a hand. Thank you very much. Congratulations, really proud of you. As they're coming up on the stage, I'm going to ask Mr. Dodd to come up and say a couple closing words to this section as we're getting organized for our picture. Yes, we will. We'll have to move to the auditorium. It's a Parents, it's okay. Once we get them organized, come on over and take a picture. I know that it's okay. It'll take us a second.
Both sides? Okay. All right, so here we're going to move this way another. Like right here. Yeah.
Is this okay, or do you need this stuff to be moved?
seats, I would like to say, as the principal of the building, that we're extremely proud of the students. We're also very thankful for the families. We know that the students couldn't do this without their families, and we're very appreciative. I think it's interesting, Dr. Cooper and Ms. Carson and I, we get to go to different events during the weeks, and we get to listen to our students talk about their Mason moments and the different experiences they had. Today we got to hear some special stories, and again, it just extended in the evening. I think when you see students like this, the students are the leaders of our building, and they'll be the leaders, future leaders of our community. You can hear their stories, and it's always something different that they remember from coming here to high school, and that's special. It just is, because that doesn't happen everywhere. And so to listen to those Mason moments, I get the privilege to listen to those and to see these students each day. And again, we're very proud of them. We thank you for the commitment you have, not only to academics, but to everything you do outside the classroom and in the community. And again, thank the families for the support that they have, and you help make Mason great. And we talk about culture all the time, and right here is the foundation of our culture here in the district, in the community. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, students and parents, Jonathan and Mr. Dodd. It was a thrill to hear the variety of interests and see how the kids still even relate to each other and doing a wide sundry of interests or committing themselves to that. So anybody else want to make any comments tonight? It's just a really wonderful experience to be here.
I'm going to steal Kevin's line that not one person mentioned.
Jump in.
This is Kevin's, that their favorite Mason moment was getting the award tonight. So the well-roundedness of the students and the experiences and the funny stories and moments, that was, I could have listened to you all night. It was fun. Thank you for being here, and thank you, parents, for the way you raised your children.
Yeah, this is always a highlight meeting on the annual agenda, and with all due respect to Sean, it's not because of the 5-year forecast, it's because we get to see all of you and see what the kind of culmination of the experience here in Mason has to offer, and it's really neat how different everybody's backgrounds, everybody's perspectives on their favorite Mason moment is. Love hearing them every year, and I feel like every year, despite some similar themes year after year, you always hear something new and different, and that's always fun.
Yeah, I'd just like to add that, each of you and your accomplishments, not the test score that you got that kind of got you into this bit of recognition, but all the things that you do set a high bar for your classmates, and they look at that and they see it. And one thing we know about high school students, sometimes they don't know always about how to communicate that, and often they just don't communicate it. But we know, having seen this over and over again, how much it impacts the culture and helps your friends move on against their goals as well. And so that's an important role you'll play. You play it right now. You might not know it as well, but you're going to play that role in a lot of ways in your communities going forward. The other thing I want to say is that for about 200 of these meetings, Courtney Allen, that's in this room, joined me right here, usually sitting right here, and she's in this room tonight, and I promise you this is her favorite board meeting she's probably ever attended. So congratulations, Courtney and Carissa, but we couldn't let that go by. She paid her dues for that one. So congratulations, everybody. Certainly just a great job, and we're very proud of you.
Most definitely, and we have 5 board members. One of them was unable to be here tonight because of business, and he asked me to extend his congratulations to the families and the students as well. So at this point, we usually take a break, and if you have some other things that you want to accomplish this evening, we'll take a break and you can exit. If you'd like to stay and enjoy the rest of the board meeting, that is perfectly fine with us as well. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
has your name on it, it's got your name on it. Take it with you.
At this point in the meeting, item 6 is our hearing of the public. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board this evening? Seeing none, we shall move on. The next item is item 7. I'm sorry.
See the difference right here versus.
Item 7 is the superintendent's recommendation. Sean, is this the group that we need to take together, or is it item 8?
Yep, this is it.
It's 7?
Yep.
Okay. I marked the wrong one. We started a new procedure at the last board meeting where we are grouping all of the personnel items together so that it's a little bit easier to manage for the board meeting, and it's also a little more visible, transparent, easy to manage for those who are interested in the board's business at a meeting. So tonight, I would like to ask for a motion to pass item 7.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And any discussion or comments on personnel for tonight? Seeing,
Yes.
I'm
Oh.
sorry, go ahead.
We're gonna, sorry, I was one ahead.
One ahead?
I have no comments at this time.
I tried to do that, but they wouldn't let me do that. Okay, seeing none, no discussion, Sean, would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yangling?
Yes.
4-0.
Next up is item 8, superintendent's recommendations, personnel items. I need a motion, please,
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Thank you. Comments, discussions? Jonathan, did you have something for that one?
Yeah, thank you very much. I got caught up on the first section, so I apologize. A couple things. If you're watching this at home or you're here in attendance and you're just wondering how this works, if you click into the agenda, you can see the document that sets up all of our personnel, and the new process allows you to see this all in one place. So that's why we like this. It's easy to follow through. As you take a look at this, I want to just highlight a couple sections as I walk through this. First, in section section H, you'll notice that we have a long list of substitute teachers that are coming on board. I want to just highlight that because just a year ago, this was such a challenge for us to get substitute teachers in, and we continue to have subs coming to our district. So I want to continue to encourage people to sign up and thank Tanya and her team for onboarding all these substitute teachers for us so that we have solid coverage in our classrooms. The next section that I would like to highlight, stepping back one, because I went too quickly, is Section E. There's a name on here for retirees, and that's Kathy Crotty. Kathy Crotty has been with the district serving for 30 years, and so I want to wish Kathy and her family the very best. I want to thank them because when you're serving as an assistant athletic director, you are here all hours of the evening in multiple events. She's done a fabulous job for us as a district. So, Kathy, if you're out there, thank you for your dedication to Comet Country. Thank you for your support, and we wish you the very best and hope to see you possibly back around. Maybe, I don't know, site manager, something like that in the future. We'd love to see you come back around. Section H, I also wanted to highlight, excuse me, not Section H, Lauren Joyce is on our agenda. Lauren Joyce, I want to point this out to you because you've heard us talk about our investment in mental wellness across the district. One of the areas that we implemented this year was additional supports in each of our buildings to support some of the trends that we've noticed that are concerns over not just student behavior, but some of the wellness concerns that we've seen as a trend. So as a district, we've invested in that additional support for our teachers in the building, for our administrators. And Lauren Joyce is one example of a prevention wellness coordinator that's coming into Mason Elementary. So we want to welcome her, but also just highlight the investment that the board has supported, that we have put in place, and that our teachers and our administrators have asked for along the way. The next section I'd like to highlight is in Section K. We have individual Deanna Hogenkamp with our experiential learning. Deanna Hogenkamp has other opportunities that are exciting. I talked to her today. These are opportunities that will allow her to continue to pursue things that she is excited about in life. And Deanna, we want to wish you the very best. She has helped us organize and coordinate our experiential learning. Experiential learning is a commitment that we have made where we build a collaboration with our corporate community, where our students are going into the community and getting real, authentic, first-hand experience in industry around us. It's something that we started back with Deb Gentine back when I first came in as a Chief Innovation Officer. Excuse me. It's continued to grow, and Deanna has taken it to the next level. Thank you, Deanna, for your commitment. You're always welcome back at Comet Country, and we'll keep that commitment to our community by having someone come in temporarily, and then we'll look for a permanent solution for that role coming up forward. I believe that's all. There's so much on here to highlight, but I wanted to highlight a few of those items and just thank everyone on here that you'll see coming on board for athletic events. In Section AD, you'll see enrichment, athletic events, all these people that are giving their time to be a part of giving our students all the experiences that you heard tonight. When they talk about their Mason moments, oftentimes it's on the field, it's in a club. All those experiences are not possible without the people that you see showing up on this agenda. So take time, look through it. It's a long document, but it says everything it needs to about what we do for our students. So thank you very much for letting me comment on that.
Very good. Thank you, Jonathan. Any other comments from the board? I do appreciate the new method of doing our personnel recommendations. At first I was a little skeptical. I wasn't sure how this was going to work, but I do think it's a good idea. I think it makes things so much more transparent for anyone who is interested in looking at our personnel recommendations. Thank you. With that, Sean, please call the roll.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Morrow?
The next item on the agenda tonight is number 9, Superintendent's action items. We have one item in this list tonight. It is for the Cintas graduation agreement. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
And comments, please.
I would like to ask the board to consider giving us more time to review this agreement and also just to review the options that we have.
Thank you, Jonathan.
I'd move to table then a vote of this.
Second.
So we'll do a motion to table this item until the next board meeting. The motion, I need a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Morrow?
Next will be item 10. It's the treasurer's report. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And Sean, I'll turn that over to you for your comments.
Sure. I think in this first motion, we're going to take items A through F, and just briefly wanted to highlight the donations. We have a long list, as we usually do, of community members and different organizations who have donated and contributed to different programs here in the school district. One of the ones in particular, the band boosters and groups that have contributed to help pay for marching band uniforms. So I appreciate their support. And then to that end, hopefully these band uniforms look really good when they compete at Grand Nationals here prior to our next meeting. So hopefully our band will be able to bring home some nice hardware from that competition. So that is what we will approve. One of the things we'll approve in items A through F with this first motion.
Thank you. Any other discussions on item A through F? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
We do need a motion.
I'm sorry?
On that. We do need a motion second on
So moved.
A through F.
Second.
I'm sorry, I thought we had a motion.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
The next item we'll take is item G under the treasurer's report. This is to rescind a vote on donations from the 9/27 board meeting. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. This item is on the agenda because I was not completely aware of the fact that something I purchased from the district would be considered a donation. So I voted at the last meeting to accept my own donation, which is a no-no. So we need to vote to rescind that vote at the last board meeting, and then on item H, we will accept those donations again, and I will abstain from that vote.
Abstain from this one too, right?
No. A
The
vote to get rid of it.
The rescind.
I believe so. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think to undo it, you can vote on this one. Just
I
not
can
the
vote to
next one.
undo.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for asking.
Yep.
Better to ask and be wrong than to not ask. Okay, any other comments or discussion? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
4M.
Next is item H, which will be an acceptance of the donations from our last board meeting on September 29th. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, criticisms, or conversation? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Abstain.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
3-0.
Thank you for that. Next up tonight will be committee reports. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
And second.
Second.
Thank you. The first,
I don't.
So this is not
We
one
don't.
we
Yeah, we're not
usually
going to be
do.
voting on this.
No, we
one,
don't.
so
we usually don't. It was recommended that I do it last time, and when I didn't, so. So the first committee
do we
for
need to
discussion.
rescind the motion or the second?
Yeah, we actually probably do. We have a motion and a second, so it's on the floor. We probably should reverse that.
Move to rescind the motion on
So
the
moved.
committee reports.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. First up is the Business Advisory Committee. Jonathan?
Yes, so we had Business Advisory Committee on September 28th, I believe was the date, and we are always grateful. We have a great commitment from our business community to invest time in our district, not only in our financial outlook, but also in some of the work that we're doing for future preparedness. One of the things that we highlighted was, one, if you're familiar with the niche report, Mason did rank in the number 4 in the state, which is a new high for us. So we were number 5, I think, a few years ago. And so we're happy to see that we're being recognized for the work that's going on throughout the district, to give all the credit to our staff and our students and families for that. We also reviewed our OKR process with our board to get feedback from our business committee. The OKRs, again, just a reminder, if you're not familiar with that, that's objectives and key results. That's a way that we measure our progress throughout the year and prioritize our time and energy. And so to get that feedback from our Business Advisory Committee was helpful. We walked through with them some of our facility updates and the goals that we have for our facility updates coming up and some of our new timelines that we've reviewed that we'll continue to share with our community. We talked a little bit about the journey to 2030 and some vision map work that we're doing. We invited our Business Advisory Committee to join us on the design team so that we would have a business perspective on the design team to help us think about what is the portrait of a learner in the future. So one of the things you're going to hear us talk a lot about is you've heard us talk about the 3 rocks. You've heard us talk about comic culture. That's all built upon that foundation. Now, as we build momentum in the district, we need direction into the future. And so that direction is that vision and that North Star. And so our community is starting to come around that idea of a portrait of a learner. What is the composition of a comet in the future? And so what do we want that to be? Our Business Advisory Committee has helped us think that through, but they're also going to join us for our design team work that I'll talk a little bit about later in comments. And then the last thing we covered in our agenda was some of our the challenges that we've faced this year with staffing. That's not something new to just us, but across the nation, people are having a difficult time with staffing from time to time. So we have put creative solutions in. You heard me mention substitute teachers in the past was a challenge, and we put new solutions in for that to help us. And we have also put some new solutions in for our student nutrition services, our aides, our transportation, our nurses, and we're looking at other areas of our organization. Some people think of us as just teachers, but actually the majority of our folks are support staff to our classroom teachers. So we have such a large staff here, and we have the largest food services, transportation department. So making sure we're fully staffed so that we can provide the Mason quality that we promise our folks is challenging. We reviewed some of those on our agenda with our business advisory and got some feedback from them as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next committee is Diversity Council. Tracy?
Yeah, our Diversity Council didn't have a meeting this month, but instead we have kind of organized ourselves where we do a meeting every other month, and in the in-between we host terrific events and do some amazing windows and mirrors opportunities for our community. And so we had 2 really terrific ways to kind of learn together as a community. One was on October 13th, we had our Hispanic Heritage Month Windows and Mirrors event at the middle school, and it was just such a beautiful opportunity to celebrate. We had dancing with Cincinnati Baila, we had a wonderful tasting and food from Tortilleria Garcia, and just a lot of wonderful conversation. We know that those are moments that are only going to continue to grow, and that was really a culminating community experience of things that were happening all month long in our buildings, including like what you saw from the middle school video. Then we had, as part of our DEI Council, we've really tried to intentionally have diversity ambassadors in our community. And so some members of our Hindu community had talked about wanting to put on an event to just educate the community about Diwali, which for many of us in Mason, we've heard the fireworks going off in our neighborhoods and celebrating. Some of us have been lucky enough to be invited to some of those celebrations in our neighbors' homes and taste the food. And so it was a really beautiful opportunity with our new Hindu Student Association who helped sponsor that. So just like at Hispanic, our Hispanic celebration, we had partnership with our National Hispanic Honor Society. The Diwali event was put on by our Hindu families and supported by our DEI Council. But a big thank you to DEI Ambassador Manish Gobali, and also the Hindu Student Association, who really, I think, started a really nice new tradition.
Thank you. I enjoyed the video very much tonight, by the way. Next item is Finance Committee. Sean and Jonathan?
Sure. One of the key tools that we use here in the district to plan and prepare for the future is our 5-year financial forecast. And we review that and utilize that all throughout the year, but there are 2 times per year that we specifically review, thoroughly approve it, submit it to the state as part of our processes each year, once in the fall and once in the spring. So in this Finance Committee meeting earlier this month, we met and reviewed a lot of the assumptions and the details that went into that forecast. And then we will actually have a short presentation on next month. I know Mr. Gallo is looking forward to that. So we'll have a short presentation on that next month and officially approve it and submit it to the state. So that was the main topic here in this Finance Committee meeting.
John, do you have anything to add to that? No. The next committee and final committee is the Mason Schools Foundation. Tracy?
A lot of good grants that we're continuing to look at, including some partnership. We approved having Mason Elementary have the critter guy come later in this spring, and some other good stuff on the horizon. But we are excited to get back into the rhythm of having a fundraising event at Mason Middle School. Really appreciate Mr. Reuter's support of getting a terrific teacher team together. And so beginning November 11th through the 18th, we're going to be back and having a middle school-wide event that's actually going to take place during Crew. Crew is their kind of advisory period. They are going to be doing a Shark Tank inspired Crew competition where crews will come up with a grant idea as students. They will then pitch those ideas to the Mason Schools Foundation and as well as leaders at their building, and then the winning crew will get to have their grant come to life. I cannot wait to see what those grants can be. And then, oh, by the way, parents, we would like you to also put in some money during that time so that we can raise funds not only for that grant, but all the wonderful things that the foundation does. Just a really terrific new way of raising money that really puts the spotlight on what we talk about, which is really lifting up our kids' ideas and voices.
Thank you. That sounds interesting. Next on our agenda tonight is item 12, legislative update. And as well, I'm sorry, superintendents have a legislative update, and then Charles.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned in the last couple of meetings that there will be most of the attention at the State House is being directed toward the November election. So most of the energy there is going towards the general election.
Why is that?
I feel like there may be something going on around November. I think if we're paying attention, you've probably seen some ads on TV, maybe. So that's going on. However, the State Board of Education has had some discussion about bills that are being proposed. One specific that we'll keep an eye on is House Bill 497. This is a bill that is proposing to eliminate the mandatory retention of third grade students who have not successfully passed the third grade ELA exam. That is something that we do have an interest in knowing more about, just because that is, we don't have a trend of that happening in our district. However, when the state is mandating things like that, that's difficult for us because we have great things in place to support our students. So we will continue to watch that. There are a couple others that they're watching, but really at this point in time, most attention is elsewhere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Charles, do you have anything to add tonight?
Nothing to add. I'm looking forward to hearing more from the OSBA conference next month.
That's right.
Thank you. Next up is item 13, administrator commentary. Tracy, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I just want to just acknowledge how exciting it really is to hear our students' Mason moments. And there's sometimes a lot of work behind the scenes that are also helping to create this moment in this room. So I just want to thank my colleague, Christy McCormick, who is helping ensure things were working, Katie Turpin, who is our incredible engineer, who's doing so many things to make things happen all the time, so appreciate her, as well as Leslie Turner, my admin assistant, who's helping get everything organized. And then finally, another group who pulled off an amazing trunk or treat was our MECC PTO. I've been doing that for a few years. Didn't expect that I would have my own little bear, but had a 16-month-old Pegasus who was assisting the Mason Schools Foundation's table this time around, and really it was such a joyful event. It is amazing the amount of work that goes into something like that, and so a huge kudos. But our PTOs everywhere. I was also at MENMI and saw their incredible book fair that they were doing, and there's just so much good work from a whole lot of volunteers who don't do it for a lot of accolades. They do it to create Mason moments. So many thanks to all of them.
Agreed. Thank you. Christine, next.
Crazy sentiments. I was also able to enjoy the trunk or treat for the first time as a parent, so that was an enjoyable experience. And I also was able to partake in some Diwali celebrations last night, so that was pretty amazing. One of the things I want to highlight, actually, too, in the Journey to 2030, we actually had our launch, our kickoff with Bill Daggett last week, and it was an incredible event, really thought-provoking, and kind of helping us just launch and lean into this new journey we're about to partake in. So it's a pretty exciting time for us, and in that Journey to 2030, I think something that might come up is career preparedness and the Prepared for Life. So in that vein, our experiential learning program, though we are going to miss Mrs. Hogenkamp, it's alive and well. So we have over 209 partners, but we also have students just this year in 406 experiential learning opportunities. So we're also embarking on engaging with our alumni. So we're going to get our alum as they're vested in our community. So to be able to help to lean into them so that they can come in as a guest speaker or even their families as well. So we're excited about that journey and being able to move experiential learning from the high school all the way down into MECC.
Great. Thank you, Christine. Tanya, you're up next.
Just want to take a moment to again thank our community for their support in lots of different ways, especially I did have a chance also to attend the Hispanic Heritage Month, and that was a lot of fun and great to just interact with community, as well as the Profile of a Learner community event, and so that's always great fun. But the best support that I appreciate is that our community still continues to step up to serve as substitute teachers for us. They're applying to be bus drivers for us and educational aides, and we continue to need them, and we so appreciate that support.
Thank you, Tanya. Amy?
So just a little bit of a follow-up from last month. Last month I shared that we were about to have visitors from around the state representing educational service centers and Knowledge Works, a nonprofit that's really working to look at casting a vision for personalized learning around the state and coming to learn from places that have been doing the work for a while. So we had, it was just over 15 visitors representing all different parts of Ohio who are really leaders in this area. And what's really remarkable, just some of the feedback that they shared with us. So we visited classrooms and we're walking through our buildings, but we're, for lots of different reasons, it wasn't like a planned thing. You know, most of those teachers, they knew maybe that morning or the night before, hey, we're going to just be stopping in, but there weren't special things planned. It was just a day in the life in our school buildings. And some of what they shared when we were debriefing afterwards was just, it was really our three big rocks come to life, and we weren't even trying to sort of feed it to them, you know. They said, we feel the culture in your building. We see it, we hear it, we see it in the interactions with students. They noted how, you know, in our middle school classrooms, and there are a number of middle school educators there, but, you know, teachers are having students interact in all of these different ways, and students just go. Like, they're sometimes in a middle school classroom, they're wanting to work more with their peers, but it didn't matter. There was such an atmosphere of inclusivity that everyone was just willing and excited to learn and work with everybody. Touched on, and on our personalized learning rock, just noted even in our youngest classrooms how independent our learners were and able to talk about their learning and what they were working on as writers, you know, even as we were in the youngest grade we were in was first grade. And so just, you know, kudos, I think, to our amazing educators and our learning experience team that has really been leading this work for years now. I think about our incredible students who shared their stories today, and they are amazing individuals. Their families have given great support, and our educators have helped them along the way to be able to excel in those sorts of ways. And so just a shout out to them. And the other thing I was also very proud of from our visit from these folks was they also commented on, we were very clear, we haven't arrived, we never will, but we're excited to share our story because we learn from sharing our story. And that was the other thing that they commented on, that, you know, it was just an atmosphere of continuous learning and of and coming, you know, we talk about being humble and hungry, and that's sort of what they were feeling from our crew as well. So wanted to circle back. You knew they were coming. Couple of the outcomes.
Thank you, Amy. Todd?
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to give an update on transportation. It's one of those areas that our transportation department continues to chip away at every day. Since you were gracious enough to give the bonus for those folks who wanted to drive for us, we've completed 31 interviews. 4 are currently being trained, which means they have a CDL. After 3 to 5 days, depending on how they drive in Mason, we allow them to begin driving their own route. Another 4 have CDLs, and they're going through their physical and backgrounds. And then we have 11 that are on the waiting list. And what that means basically is they have to go through the training, get their physical, and get their temps. So right now we're coming in close to almost 20 people that we have in the pipeline for jobs. So we're hopeful, but a staggering number that shocked me was, of those 11, only about 25% may be able to get their temps. It's very difficult to get your temps as a bus driver. So we're hopeful that all 11 do, so that we have plenty of people to run as subs, run as floaters, and take routes if they need to. So once again, thank you for the support on that.
Is the difficulty passing the
Correct.
exam? That's what the...
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that big yellow bus backing through cones is no joke.
I can imagine. I can't imagine.
We might enlist Tracy, but I just still considering.
As a PR person, I'm going to say no.
Thank you, Todd. I know that's been a challenge, and thank you and your team for working through that.
Thank you.
Sean?
Just a few thank yous tonight. Thanks to the transportation team and all the work they're doing to interview and get new drivers in here to help support our families and students. Thanks to the HR team for processing all of those new hires and all the work they're going to go through behind the scenes to bring them on board. Of course, thanks to the Merrick Scholars and families and all the work that they're doing. It's just incredible to see those students up here and hear about their Mason moments. And then, of course, Dr. Bill Daggett and his team, thanks to the community and also thanks to the planning team. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to pull that off, whether it's support staff who are setting things up or the curriculum and support team who are planning all those things. Just a lot of great work happening.
Great. Thank you, Sean. Jonathan?
Yeah, just 4 things I want to highlight. One, fall seasons. This is a great time of the year. Fall seasons are all coming to an end. We just had our tennis team win their 6th state title in a row. I mean, a dynasty. And just so grateful for the coaching. I know we'll talk more about that at our next meeting, so please tune back in and you'll hear more about that. Our band, you heard them mention their outfits actually just won an award for their presentation at Indianapolis, and then they go back in a couple weeks to the Grand Nats, and so we'll be cheering them on. Clue, you heard one of our students talk about their Mason moment. Clue is performing in our Black Box Theater, and if you haven't seen it, it's a lot of fun, but be ready, you might jump. There's a lot of humor, but there's also just a lot of fun moments that make you jump throughout, and you're nice and intimate in there and close, and so I just warn you ahead of time. Our students are amazing. Then we did have, in our journey to 2030, you heard about Dr. Bill Daggett coming and talking to us. We also took a team of our folks up to Mayfield City Schools. So you heard Amy talk about people coming to visit us and learning from our learning. We also go out and learn from others. And so the day that we had a personal learning day in the district, we took a team up to the Cleveland area to see Mayfield and Dr. Barnes and his team, just inspired by some of the choice that they've built into their schedule. Like we really want to continue to increase choice for our students in that personalization. So I'm just happy about that. We also have the design team kicking off with our Portrait of a Learner. on 4 dates coming up: November 2nd, December 7th, January 11th, and January 25th. If you have any deep desire to be a part of having your voice a part of that design team in our future and our creating that vision for us, reach out to me personally or one of our teammates here, and we would be happy to talk you through how to get onto that team. And then last, I'll just mention this. We have, you've heard us talk about our support in our community. We have a young student who is in the midst of life-saving surgery right now, so just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. You've probably seen that on social media and other places. But one thing I know about our community is that you are not alone, and that our community continues to walk through the celebrations that we have tonight, but also the hard times that people walk through in real life and family. And so we are with our families through that, and always here to support not only our families going through the moment, but the other families and friends that are connected to them that might need support. So my invitation is, if you need support, if you're watching this, and you're a staff member, student, community member, we do have a support system in place. Please reach out to us. And if you don't know how to do that, our tip line is always open to be anonymous if you want to let us know that we need to support someone. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Next up is our board commentary. Kevin, I'll start with you tonight.
Well, there was reference to the long-term planning that is going on right now, and I'd just like to, make a comment to appreciate the fact that that planning is going on. It's one of the secrets that I feel is part of the recipe that helps us with continuity and excellence around here that you all are able to accomplish, and we're able to witness with the performance of our students so many different ways. But that secret is being able to actually plan long term. To do that, you have to have your short term in order. Otherwise, you're always just planning your short term, and it never ends. And so, in parallel to the long term plan, I know the Business Advisory Council has heard this, but I just want to make it clear to all those that are participating, is in parallel is a financial plan. We're going to hear more about next meeting. But to assure that we've got all the resources in place to finance that long-term vision in the same spirit that we financed the last, generation, such that, we can be certain that we've got milestones and we won't be finding ourselves in urgent circumstances that cause us to have to separate from the long-term planning that we're all doing. So it's a major commitment of resources, but and I applaud the team for doing that. I'm glad. The other dynamic which I love about the way we're set up is that while the board members might kind of casually be engaged in some of the meetings and sessions, this is time we kind of step out of that way. We don't want to be presenting or politicking our points of view, or even, that wouldn't even happen, but just the impression that, the plans are already made. So I like the fact that we kind of step away from that and let your team absorb all that input, such that you can decide how we're going to make all of this fit into the right kind of programs to make that a reality, and then we get to kind of see that come together through you and your leadership team, which I think is the right way to do that. So that is the first thing. The second, I just what I didn't say to the National Merit students, but for those that either might watch this later or tuning in, surrounding us here in this cafeteria, which is probably the largest cafeteria in the state, are the names of many of those students that are recognized, similar to what you might see in a gymnasium where we recognize athletes who've won state tournaments or been all-state or whatever. And in here we've got National Merit semifinalists listed all the way around, and at the rate we're going to have to do some space planning, I think, Jonathan, because at 39 a year, that'll be a problem. And if you go all the way over to the corner, I think you see multiple years on the first square, and that's an opportunity to highlight an old or previous, I'll say, board member, Mary Ann Culbertson, who spent many years demanding in good Mary Ann way that we that we support that effort and make sure that this testing is available and happens and give these kids an opportunity to be recognized early on. And so that's really a nice legacy for us to have. So appreciate the way we do this meeting and put all that together. Thank you.
Charles?
All right, I've got a laundry list. I'll try to make my way through here and not double cover some of these, but with this being the last meeting in October, as Jonathan alluded to, we have had a lot of successful stories in our fall sports season, so I'm just going to try to run down some that have jumped out to me in the time since our last board meeting. First of all, we had our football team on Friday complete a really good regular season, finished 8-2. They're going to be playing Coleraine this Friday in the first round of the playoffs. That's a home game. Hopefully folks can get out to that, but great to see them continuing on. Our girls water polo won a regional game this past weekend against Princeton at Princeton to secure the final spot in the state tournament this coming weekend. I think that's up in Columbus. Congrats to them. Our boys golf team completed a historic season, getting second overall in the state tournament by 3 strokes, I think, to St. Ignatius, and they had a tremendous second day up in Columbus. They were 4th going into the second day. They shot the best round of the whole state on that second day and almost caught St. Ignatius. So they had a tremendous season. That senior class has really elevated the level for that program, so congrats to them. Girls soccer, they're playing right now against Seton Saints over in Hamilton, I think. They've got a good game on their hands, so they're still fighting, so congrats to them and good luck. Boys soccer has Beaver Creek coming up on Thursday. That's at Lakota East. They beat Lebanon this past, I think last night actually. So they're still moving forward. You alluded to the band doing well at the Super Regionals. They've got the Grand Nationals in a few weeks coming up in Indianapolis. Our cross-country team at our middle school, boys, won the state title, I believe, and Zach Hayden, a middle schooler, was the individual state champ. So excited to see the pipeline will be well replenished as our current crop of cross-country runners take on the I think it's regionals this coming week, isn't it? They just had districts, or is it state next week?
Regionals this Saturday, state next Saturday.
All right, yeah, so it's still regionals coming on. Both girls and boys cross-country teams won districts this past weekend and are looking strong heading into regionals. And girls, this one jumped off the page to me. Freshman Aoife Pashka
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
set the school record at the GMC meet and ran the second fastest time ever in GMC meet history as a freshman. So
She shocked the world. Everybody was like,
we've had some good runners here that have been girls. I think we even name a meet or two after some of them. So to be able to set the school record as a freshman, that's incredible. So congrats to them. Obviously to the girls tennis team winning a state title. Shyla Agarwal winning the individual state title. Just awesome, remarkable stuff. And you know, we are accustomed to really great achievements and success like that year after year, but it still bears mentioning and reminding ourselves, you know, might not be new to us, but for each of those kids and their teams and their families, that this is their year. So congrats to all of them, and congrats to those teams that had also finished up their seasons this year. And then I will also extend the prayers to the family of our student who is in a fight right now.
Thank you. Desiree?
I just wanted to comment briefly on Amy's presentation on the visitors that came into our school, the leaders from around the state, and I felt like that was interesting, the lens that they saw without preparation, you know, peeking in the classrooms and interacting with students and teachers, and you know, their takeaway from that really speaks volumes to what we're doing here. You know, it's easy to put on a face, but when you just see the raw what's going on, that's the true, you know, behind the curtain what the culture is at our school. And it just, that was a great story you shared, and I appreciate that. Along that same vein, I am on the Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition, and unknowingly, I learned that we have a group of students at Mason that are spearheading a student group that are doing great things along the lines of substance abuse prevention. So that I was really proud. I wasn't aware of it. Just so many things go on that we would be here for 3 days if we sat and listed all the great things that our students and community was able to accomplish. So that is all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Jonathan, thank you for organizing tonight's meeting on an annual basis. As Kevin said, the students that were here tonight, they represent Mason so well. And I don't know if you had a chance to review an article that I sent you this week, but it talked about raising kids, and the biggest factor to success, even higher than IQ, is the stick-to-itiveness, the persevere to the end. And I thought it was a really interesting article, and we don't have any shortage of effort put forth by our students. But I really want to take time also to thank our parents, our families, community that supports this school district in such a fashion through my tenure here. It's just been really remarkable. Our staff is unmatched, and I think that we have a unique combination of community and staff and students all coming together and working together to accomplish what we do here, and it's beyond the classroom. Kevin, you stole my thunder with Mary Ann, but I do remember when there were years we may not have had any commended scholars, and that was a big push, and I think it was just a brilliant move on Mason's part to buy into that and to support that program. But I wanted to recognize our staff and our families that support our kids and our community, our school district in this community. So I really do appreciate that. With that, I will ask for an adjournment.
So
Motion?
moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
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 Thank you.